Good morning. We are in Ruth chapter 3, going through verses 1 through 18 on page 39. If you haven't read it, go ahead and pause the video and read it now. See, here it's good to understand a little bit of cultural context. In ancient Israel, basically those who were childless, and widows, they would have to marry the next relative in order to keep the family property and the lineage going. Well, in this situation, Ruth was childless, and she was a widow, and Naomi was a widow, and they had no person to carry on that family name but Boaz. They knew of Boaz. And so Naomi tells Ruth to do something here. Naomi's telling Ruth to act in boldness, to say, I'm available to Boaz. See, Boaz was going to be at the threshing floor here. And on the threshing floor, after they've separated the barley and all this stuff that goes on there, he is laying down, he's eating and drinking, and now he's taking a rest. And what Ruth is proposed to do here is lay at Boaz's feet and uncover his feet and just lay there. And this was a symbol for Ruth to tell Boaz that she was available. And she was basically proposing marriage here. And Ruth had to make a decision. See, Naomi at this point is shifted, and she's focused. No, she's no longer bitter. She's focused on the best life and a new home for Ruth. And Ruth has to make a decision and say, okay, well, this is a good decision. This is something I should move forward with. He showed our family kindness and willingness to redeem us. And so she had to put herself out there. Ruth responded in obedience. She was willing to listen and do what she was asked. If she would not have, how would the story have played out differently? Think about the times that God has instilled wisdom in your life. If you didn't obey him with that big decision, how would that look differently? Maybe you would be on a different path. Maybe we would be telling a different story. But God is faithful to Naomi, and God is faithful to Ruth, even though Naomi felt like God was bitter to her earlier towards her circumstance. The fact that Ruth requested marriage from Boaz instead of another man showed that she cared about Naomi's family. Just as much as Ruth cared about Naomi, Naomi was starting to care about Ruth just as much. So is Jesus your kinsman redeemer? Are you putting your faith and trust in him? Think about that. And if you know a friend, share it with them this week on Jesus being their kinsman redeemer.